People are wearing a lot of masks. Do you have updates or modifications to close contact rules with mask wearing? For example, if all parties are wearing a mask, then can contact be closer than 6 feet, or for more than 15 minutes, or for an hour or more? Any recommendations for the most effective kind of masks? And are the disposable 3-layer masks better than the homemade cotton 2-layer masks?
Well, I'll just touch base on the close contact and leave Doug for the mask question. But
Okay.
generally speaking, unless you're wearing medical grade masks and have the appropriate protection that would be more seen in a medical environment, that if you're under 6 feet for more than 15 minutes, we consider you a close contact, regardless of wearing facial coverings. Those facial coverings are going to decrease the risk of developing coronavirus, but if you're in that proximity for 15 minutes or longer, you're going to be considered a close contact. So really, masks are for reducing risk, but the physical distancing is the most useful for preventing quarantine.
Yeah, I would just reiterate that we're not from a King County perspective, we're just basically we've framed it as a face covering. So for licensed food establishments, for example, we're just looking for a face covering. We're not requiring a specific type of face covering, but that's in combination with, as Mark stated, physical distancing. So that's extremely important. So when we do I mentioned our STAR assessments earlier, that's really what we're looking for is, and the challenges for food establishments is, how do I need to change my business and operational model to make sure that I can maximize physical distancing, particularly among food workers in food storage and handling and preparation areas. How am I going to change the way I do things so that I can maximize physical distancing and not have food workers in close proximity to each other for prolonged periods of time? So the mask is another protective factor, but that's with distancing and hand hygiene and monitoring personal health and screening. So, it's this combinatory effect of doing all of these things that really help with risk reduction. I know the Washington Department of Labor and Industry classifies different types of jobs and therefore classifies personal protective equipment associated with those jobs. We, as a health department involved in regulatory food safety, have not gotten into that level of detail on face coverings. However, I know L&I has the right to go in and investigate any type of business and may go into a food establishment and, based on a complaint, for example. I don't think they just do routine inspections necessarily but I think they respond to complaints. If an employee complained, for example, about their employer, and they may have a different take on it. So what may be worthwhile in the future, if for another potential webinar, is to have a Washington Department of Labor and Industry representative for these kind of questions. But I will tell you, from our standpoint, we're looking for a face covering.